It is October 10th. I hope you all are doing well today. What we're doing in this video is seeing anything that comes up. I woke up and felt the need to record, and so that's what we're doing. It's been a pretty eventful past couple weeks here in the United States with the two hurricanes. I know that there's been talk about the potential, the high potential of upcoming earthquakes. So be wary of that as well. We're going to get into some pick a card readings for next week. I'm doing fine for me. It's been crazy here. It's interesting because for as many people as I know and myself, being in these areas of impact, it doesn't seem like anything happened. For anyone that I know. Granted, I haven't talked to every single person, especially in North Carolina, that could potentially have been affected, but so far it's been pretty good. So I'm gonna look at these off camera really quick because I don't know what exactly is on them. It might not be appropriate for YouTube. Okay, let's clear this a little bit so you can kind of see what is going on here. What is the general message that I'm getting? Is this for someone specific here, or is this the collective, like spiritual collective, you know, that reaches beyond us, or is this collective that's watching? When I say that, I am being drawn to the Judgment and this particular angel. I believe it's supposed to be Angel Gabriel or Archangel Gabriel. I'm gonna close the door while Sebastian leaves. He's probably gonna bust the door down though, since I didn't close it completely. So anyway, you can come in if you want. I hear him outside the door. Well, I'm getting the word updraft. There's a symbolic meaning to updraft. Updraft. It's like catching the updraft. Is it only symbolic, or is this also realistic? When I started saying it, that I'm drawn to the wine in the Five of Cups, which is representing to me old blood. Like, this isn't fresh blood. This is old blood and an updraft. And then I'm being drawn to the Ten of Cups, and I'm seeing the background. They're pointing out the background of the Ten of Cups. And then they're saying, don't get into the meaning. And then they're showing the cups falling, like the rainbows. I don't know why I brought up that it's the rainbow, but it's like it's falling. It's almost like, do you see, this is what I'm hearing, this is what they're saying to me, do you see how something that may be posed as like the end of something could be the start of something? So it's like when you see the rainbow, then that could be symbolizing the end of a storm, when it could also actually mean the start of something else. But it doesn't feel good. It's like I see this image of people or a person. I'm seeing a person, but I said people because it feels like the person's supposed to represent people, but they're moving out. Like they're moving away, and it's like, it's almost like this, almost like a volcano. I'll use an example because the volcano is stationary, right? Like the volcano itself is stationary. So when the volcano erupts, like that's what I'm seeing back here. It's like an eruption way back there. It's the eruption. So it's like, oh, this is a good thing. We're seeing this rainbow, and it's supposed to be like a storm. It feels like a storm. I don't know if this is real or not. Like a real storm. Okay, let me just say it, right? Let's just say it, and like we'll figure it out together, hopefully. It's a storm, okay? And I feel like it's supposed to be like a block. Like blockade is the way they're telling me. So it's like a blockade where it's like stop, right? Like you can't get past this blockade from whatever this is over there. It's supposed to be like a field, and it feels like an energetic field. So the part that it's blockading, this part in front, like where these people are, it feels clean, like clean air, right? And it's like, you're not supposed to come past here. So I think this is real. Like they're grateful, but then they're showing me that they're away from their home. So then it brings up being away, like people moving away, and the rainbow looks like it's split between the house. Okay. Trust your faith in this situation. Have faith. Look to your inner strength, which is what I was also, you're stronger than you realize. It goes together with a sensitivity. 11 and 44 both go with this. Vesica Pisces, get to know each other, right? Connecting, new love, embrace an opportunity for love in your work prospects or for spiritual growth. Okay, so this is reminding me again of here in the Judgment. Like they're the same to me. They look the same, right? Oh, but what's similar other than their posture is that they're looking away. Like, I feel like what these energies, these entities, these angels, archangels, whatever, well, they're supposed to be looking at humanity or like the people below. Like they're supposed to be looking below, or like this is supposed to be sounding the horn, right? This is supposed to be like the, Revelations, and Judgment Day. But the new, like, it feels like a natural disaster is what it seems like I'm picking up. Not that was funny. That was weird that I laughed, but I'm just like kind of didn't expect this, I guess. I thought I was gonna be talking about like personal stuff, I guess. I guess there's also a reason like why I even brought up everything that's going on too. Maybe it's all connected. I mean, it's really not at the forefront of my mind. What's in the forefront of my mind is like just connecting with spirit and spiritual stuff, and things that's like been coming up for me personally that has been unexpected. So I find that this is like very interesting. See, again, follow the voice of your soul, take note of intuitive messages, take care of your needs. And then the mountains, stand your ground, but it's this weird feeling, okay, that I get of like connecting to faith. So it's like you have to have faith, or you have to have hope, you have to have intuition. So it's like, don't disregard that. Now, where is this in the world? Like, I feel like I'm being pulled to the, like, left of me. I'm on the East Coast, so I'm being pulled to the left and kind of up. I mean, I know there's been talk about that volcano that's in Washington, I believe. I don't know. Maybe I'm guessing at this point, and that's not really what I should be doing, right? I should just be interpreting, so I don't like get too far from whatever this truth is. So 3 stars. 3 stars. Why does that feel important to me? I feel like dizzy, kind of. Just like disoriented, not necessarily dizzy, disoriented. So I'm gonna go with the earthquake. I'm gonna be someone else is gonna fall in line with that, but maybe this has to do with an explosion, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be an earthquake. It could be some form of explosion. But there's this feeling of like almost extremities between like your primal feeling, like that part of your intuition, right? Like that's protecting you primally, and then this like connection to spirit that's almost begging or beckoning to to make sense of it. It's almost like to make sense of the clutter, because it shows me these butterflies here and then like whatever she's kind of draped in, and it's this feeling of like clutter, right? Like if you think about what's going on in Asheville and like all the mangled mess and how it's like clutter, so it's like making sense of something that feels similar to that. Make sense of that as it occurred or occurs, as it occurs or as it's occurring. So as I say that, then I start being pulled out of this identifying energy. What I mean by saying that is like where I've been trying to like almost make sense of the direction of this reading. So then they're showing me how that could be the mentality of the watcher, right? Like who's watching this video, and the reader. So if you're also a reader, so because they're showing the watcher and the reader, but then they're putting it together and they're saying like, look at it like how these energies, these angels are looking away. It's like, don't look, like don't get distracted and look away at something that feels almost above the situation. Like, don't look, like here's an example, is like, if you were a bird and you were landing on an island, don't look up at the other birds that are like crossing over you, right? Look to the island, like look at where you're headed, focus on that, rather than getting distracted by this almost like complacency of, well, I know I'm going this way, I know I'm going over here, So I have time to kind of let my mind wander and also like look around, right? Because as I look around, then I'm losing focus of where I'm headed, and there could be a chance that I'm not aware of a potential danger that's at that island. And I'm like crocodile, or like I'm looking for something natural, and it's unnatural, right? It feels like a hunter with a gun, right? Not even a bow, an arrow. It's like someone that's unnaturally placing themselves where it would be totally blindsiding you, totally unexpected, right? And not only that, but they have an advantage with their weaponry, right, to launch an invisible, because it's going to go so fast, right, attack on you or like your family, because I'm seeing, you're with others. So it's like, or what you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be other people. It could be like what you have can go down. So they're saying pay attention to where you're headed. Don't allow yourself to get too comfortable and complacent. That's not to say you have to like be on edge, but just be as naturally alert as you are. Keep aware of this and keep another escape route available to you, right? Like pay attention to the routine that you've kept that has kept you alive this whole time, right? We're using the example of you being like a bird, right? Landing. So it's like when I take this migratory track, I know that as I go to these specific landings, and it's migratory, so I'm not aware when I'm not there the changes that could occur, right? You think about these migratory species, and then people build these developments where they go, and then these generations come back, and it's completely different, right? So it's like when you go there, to always look for, a certain cove, right? Or whatever, where it's like, these are like my backups, or like, this is where I go while I'm there, right? These kinds of things where you don't rely so heavily on routine, in the sense that you lose sight of what you're doing, right? Like sometimes when we go through the routine of things, then we're not really aware. We kind of let our awareness take a back seat, right? So be aware of your surroundings is emphasizing over and over again. Be aware of your surroundings. There's going to be a lot of change in the next 90 days or less. Okay, so by the time January 1st comes around, there's going to be a drastic change, potentially globally. This could be, or this could just be representative of maybe like your world is drastically changing in some way. I'm seeing this as like, they're showing this as it's like the undercarriage. This isn't a reflection, right? Like I can give an example, like when I pressure wash my deck and it's like dirty, and then that looks like fresh wood, right? So it's like there's something that's like being cleaned or being cleared. I'm seeing 3 again, And it's an emphasis on the dirt. Threes and fives are significant here. Threes and fives are significant because I keep seeing 5, and then I see there's 5 here and there's 5 here, and then they're representing this as dirt as well. And then they're just showing me the ways I can make 5. And they're showing me these stars here, but it's important that you take note of something to do with the stars. Or you take note of something that's to do with like it's not necessarily planetary alignment, like the planetary system. It's like what's going on in space. Well, this has to be making sense for someone out there. It sounds to me like I'm confused. I mean, I'm not confused. I don't feel confused. It's just I don't know what this is about. I'm hearing you have to know that Spirit is working with you. And those forces that work against you can't penetrate the blockade. However, it's important to be mindful that even as you receive the gift of connecting with Spirit, this is also a partnership with Spirit, in the sense that you are responsible for following through. Because you are the vessel that operates here on this plane, in this level of awareness. They're showing how you can match many levels of awareness as you exist here on Earth. So the very limited levels of awareness to the fully aware, to beyond of even the Earth plane. And that they're showing these, I'm seeing it like burst, like temporary reaches to advanced colonies. They're showing it like this, like you can kind of imagine if this were you, and this is like advanced colonies, and how it's like you're coming in as flashes. So it's like you flash in and out because it's like temporary. You can't exist there fully, right? So you're like flashing in, coming back, flashing in, coming back. So it's important that you recognize your awareness and your level of how you're able to connect with so many other people, again, and how they vary in their awareness. And you have to not hide. You can't hide who you are, because then that's betraying and denying your vessel, right? It's denying that part of you. It's denying a part of you. Okay. Oh. And then they're showing here, I can't think of the term right now, but with bugs, like let's say this is a dragonfly, like they're showing me like a dragonfly head, right? So also be mindful of the spiritual meaning of a dragonfly. And they're showing me how the eyes can look, you know, they can reticulate different ways, right? So they're saying you use that, right? Like use your abilities. Don't limit yourself. You know, don't try and be, you know, a rabbit when you're a dragonfly, right? The rabbit can only live on land, and its eyes can't move the way you do. So like use your full ability. Use it. The dirt that I'm seeing, they're showing it, they're pulling this card out from behind the shed of old skin, and that's the dirt I see. So it's growing, and look at how the similar colors here. It's and he kind of, and then it kind of molds into here for me, right? Like he's a little bit of this growing out of your comfort zone, coming out of your shell, expanding. Okay, let's see, just there's something else. And what is this something else? Okay, this flipped in the card, but I can't show you. And then I have two more. One's on the floor. They're bringing up Sebastian, my dog. I can't show you the other card either, but there's their cards. Sebastian, he hit the camera, he left, he drank water, he sat outside, he did not bust the door down. He normally does. And I gave him permission to come in, he didn't. He normally knows, like, once I start doing this, he kind of just, like, leaves out of habit, because I keep him locked out for the most part. Creation into something, it's not new. You're not, and I'm seeing 3 again, and look, there's 3 pyramids right here. There's 3 pyramids, but it's kind of like partially blocked here because the 3rd pyramid here was actually, that's just like extra confirmation. But the 3rd pyramid here, that's the 3rd pyramid. the inverted, but it's inverted because this is like spirit coming into body, right? Like something about Sebastian, what he did. It's like people, I feel like it's like people around you, they're like respecting something about you. It's like they're respecting your journey, or they're respecting your progress in something, and they're just not interfering. Like they're allowing you to be you, do like whatever you want, kind of. Like it's like it's this feeling like, okay, well, I respect, it's like your life, your journey, whatever. Don't mind me. Like I'm not gonna get in your way. Don't mind me. Like I'm always here for you, right? Like Sebastian's here. Like, you know, he knows he can come in. But he's just like giving me my space, kind of thing. And it feels like people for you. And I'm like sitting here. I'm like, how does this have anything to do with what I was like starting with? Or was that just like something else? Or is that me like warming up to what the message is? And I saw Rosemary. It interrupted me with Rosemary. So there's that. So anyway, we have the Prince of Wands, and then we have the Star. Okay, the Star. And who do you not see that? Okay. And then we have the Lovers. The Star, the Lovers, and the Prince of Wands. And again, this is a cohesive nature, I feel, with spirit. And the Prince of Wands kind of coming through as like, you know, that young energy of, okay, let's get this started, let's get this going. I feel ready. I also feel like I may not be ready, but I feel like I need to do this. Like I feel like I should do this. This is my calling. This is what I was called to do, or this is what I was told to do in some way. And I'm going to go after it because that's what I'm told to do. Right? Like there's an inner, it feels like this passion, right? I'm impassioned by something, by this. And so I'm going to follow through, even if my ego is telling me that I shouldn't, or I can't, or I'm not ready, that kind of thing. This feels like a very powerful horse. Very regal, very powerful. And it's interesting because I get the word obsolete, right? And the horse is not obsolete by any means. It almost feels like what could be obsolete to some is actually very powerful. Like, you know, and you could donate to them actually if you feel called to do so. But there are mules, right, in Asheville right now they're using to transport, and mules are just so helpful. They're so freaking helpful. Aren't they stronger than most horses too? They have an incredible sense of direction as well. And so it's this feeling of like, you know, you have cars, right? Or you have the helicopters, which is very helpful as well. Helping a lot, actually, in this Asheville situation. But anyway, but the mule, it's like what you have, there's something very interesting that almost seems obsolete, like to the general population, I would say. Like, it's not like everyone thinks this, but if you would tell someone, it's like, if someone's not like in the know, like if they're not in the same community as whatever this is, then they may be like, I see no use for this, I see no purpose in this. So they don't have the same awareness to see how valuable this is. And yet when something major happens in the next 90 days, and when I say that, then that brings me to the beginning where it's like this huge, something huge, that's like not just an internal thing, like it's something bigger. When this happens, then what seems to have been viewed as potentially obsolete, that is actually a powerhouse for you. It's a very strong thing for you. That's actually, it's gonna be like highlighted. Like, how do I say, like you're the hero, right? It's like, whoa, okay. That's really cool, right? Like, I wish I would have been like, with this, and let's say the horse, like, it's like, I wish I would have like been practicing, you know, all these cool things on a horse. Like, I don't know, I'm seeing archery, you know, like archery on a horse, but it's like, that's something that's potentially like obsolete or something for our massive community, but it's like, whoa, that's like very helpful right now. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of skill to achieve the level that you're at here. And it's like this like symbiotic relationship, right? Like this connection with the horse. It's like you have a very good and unique connection with the horse. So it's not like anybody can just jump on a horse, right? Like it takes like a lot of practice for what it is that you do. And it's like, I'm even seeing what this horse is draped in. It feels like very expensive. Again, but you've done this because you're passionate about this. It's like very important to you. But I also get like kind of quirky too, right? Like it's like something very quirky and different, unique, and like really amazing. Like it's like really interesting, but it's like you put a lot of energy into whatever this is, right? Like you're investing a lot. Like that's a lot of money to get whatever this horse is wearing. But now it's like for everyone it makes sense. Well, yeah, that's gonna be my reading for today. That's it. Hopefully this reach, I mean, I know it will reach whoever it's meant to, and it's gonna make sense for whoever it's meant to. And that's it. That is it, you guys. I'll see you in my next reading. It's gonna be a pick a card next week.